Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Oscar and in today's video we'll be covering 4 tips that can get you out of low ELO. If you do end up liking the video, please consider subscribing, also clicking that notification bell and liking the video and share it with your friends. Stay tuned till the end though, because we'll be giving a special offer to you guys. But yeah, that's about that, so let's jump into the video. Alright, so starting off with the first tips that we're going to cover in this video is going to be one-tricking. And one-tricking is something that's very important in League and that can help out a lot of players, because one-tricking is something that probably you've heard before. One-tricking can really help you excel into the game and get a better understanding of how to play lane, and it will also help you to get a better understanding as to how your champion works, and you will learn the ins and outs of the champion that you're playing a lot better. So minimizing your champion pool and picking up just one champion instead of focusing on many champions at one time is something that will really help you out. So picking up that one champion will really help you out for example laners, to understand just the different matchups, because it's just more about learning the different matchups as when you're playing one champion compared to if you're playing more champions, because then you have to learn the ins and outs of way more champions, which makes you or forces you to take a lot more time to understand how this champion works into the different matchups and stuff like that. So picking up just one champion instead will allow you to understand how the champion works in the different 1v1s, where your different power spikes are, you know, whether it's 1 or 2 items, and also realizing where you really power spike into the game, where your strengths are. But yeah, that's pretty much all about one-tricking. Now the second tip on our list is going to be theory crafting, and theory crafting is something that a lot of people don't really abuse, and this comes back to when the game starts. So in the champion select, you should always look at your team comp and to get a better understanding as to what your win conditions is going to be this game, and also to review the different matchups in the different lanes, so you can get a better understanding as to what lanes will win the different matchups and what lanes will really excel into the game, which lanes is probably gonna snowball, and which lanes will probably have the push priority in the early game, also helping out junglers get a better understanding as to what lanes can help you out, for example at this potential scuttle crab fight, and also understanding what your team comp does better than the enemy team, whether it is scaling, whether it is catching, team fighting. You know, this all comes back to the theory crafting and getting a better understanding of what your win conditions are. And this is something that's very important, specifically in a bit higher elo, but also in lower elos as well. Understanding the different matchups and reviewing what lanes probably will win the lane is something that can really help you out. Now the third tip on our list is going to be having a good mental, and this is something that's extremely important when it comes to League. You know, not being toxic, not blaming your teammates and stuff like that. This is all something we see on a daily basis in solo queue. And being toxic and not helping out your teammates is not something that will actually help you get better at the game. And sure, you probably heard this and all of that stuff, but you know, having a good mental is something that's very important, not focusing on the negative sides. Like, sure, maybe your jungler into your lane or something like that. It's not like something that he can just go back in time and fix. Stuff like this happens and you can't really control it. It sucks, but that's it. And I can't tell you how many games I've actually won just because of having a good mental, and for example not FFing 15 and stuff like that. This is something that really helps out a lot of players, especially in lower elos, but also like in general in all elos, definitely. So having a good mental and also like not FFing is something that's very important. Even if the game looks lost at one stage, you never know if the enemy team is gonna hard int or make a huge mistake that you can definitely profit off and snowball from there on. The fourth tip on our list is going to be reviewing your games, and this is something I personally find extremely important. Always, if you're having a game where you really didn't understand what went wrong, and you're really not certain what you could have done better, always looking at the game, seeing the different mistakes that you made, and sometimes you're not really going to be able to analyze the mistakes that you made, and therefore it can be really helpful to pick up a coach that can help you understand the different mistakes that you made and get a better understanding as to how you can play around the mistakes that you made, and you know, essentially how to fix them. All in all though, reviewing your games, seeing the mistakes that you made and try to focusing on them, getting a list down, noting down the mistakes you made, go over them one by one, whether it's last hitting, whether it is pathing in the jungle, all of these things are very important when it comes to League. However, not a lot of people actually review their games, which is why they tend often to get stuck in lower elos. However, if you do decide to review your games, this is something that can really help you out. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and to all those people who made it here till the end, check out the description where we offer a free coaching lesson to all new students coming to our site. Simply click the link in the description and you will follow the steps there and you can set up a free lesson with a pro coach today.